As many of you know, the Office of IPE offers an interprofessional collaborative practice micro-credential program, and the program consists of 3 digital badges. Many of you have already earned the first 2 digital badges, Interprofessional Collaborative Practice Foundations and Interprofessional Collaborative Practice Communication and Teamwork, through completion of activities in the required curriculum. This page lists the learning activities associated with each digital badge, and you'll be familiar with many of these activities for digital badge number 1 and digital badge 2. To earn digital badge 3, students need to complete certain interprofessional learning experiences while on clinical practice rotations. If you click on this link, Digital Badge 3, it will take you to a page that gives you the learning objectives for this specific digital badge. But the more important part are these activities. And so it mentions that students will complete 4 of the following interprofessional learning experiences during clinical or practical education. So the list here consists of 14 different activities. You have to keep in mind that this digital badge is available to all students in health professions programs at UB, so some of the language in here is specific to certain programs and may not necessarily be applicable to pharmacy. But the goal is that for a student to earn this digital badge, they'll have to complete 4 of the activities listed on this page. They'll need to then submit evidence that they completed those activities, and that comes in the form of a description of the learning experience and then a preceptor attesting that the student completed that. And so what I'm going to show you now is how we are going to capture the description of the learning experience through CORE. When you log into CORE, you'll need to navigate to the Field Encounters tab. And when you click on this, you'll notice that there's a new field encounter in here called the Interprofessional Collaborative Practice Healthcare Practice Activity Log. And this is where you will document completion of those 4 interprofessional learning experiences. So when you're ready to document one of these activities, you'll go to Add. You will then select the preceptor and site that the activity was completed at. Here we only have one example APP rotation scheduled. You'll select the date that it occurred on. You'll need to select the type of activity that it was. And so if you recall back on the Office of IPE's website, there was a list of 14 different types of activities. Those same 14 types are listed here. So for example, if you wanted to document participation in 5 interprofessional rounds, you would just select that. The next item is to select the learning objectives that were achieved on this particular activity. There is no minimum or maximum number of learning objectives that need to be achieved on each activity, but it is expected that when you are done documenting all 4 required interprofessional activities, that you will have checked all these boxes across those 4 activities. So just for example, for these interprofessional rounds, we'll say that you achieved the first 3, although you likely could achieve all of them on an interprofessional rounds experience. And then very briefly, we're asking that you describe the activity. We do ask that this is a brief explanation, so a maximum of 75 words. So an example of what this description could look like is something very, very brief that I prepared here. So I participated in 5 interprofessional rounds on the general pediatric service at Oishei Children's Hospital. During these rounds, medical residents, medical students would present patients to the interprofessional rounding team. The other professions present, including pharmacy, nursing, and social work, would provide recommendations to develop an interprofessional plan of care each day. When you're done with that, then you'll hit Submit Log, and you'll be able to view the log here, but it will get sent then to your preceptor to approve. Once it's approved, this status will change from pending to confirmed, and then this would count as one of your 4 required interprofessional activities. If you were to go back to Field Encounters, you could see the number of entries that you have. and you could go back and view those entries if you wanted to. But again, the goal is that you complete 4 of those interprofessional learning experiences from the list that is in core here, but also on the Office of IPE's website. Once you've done all 4, if you could send me an email, that would be the quickest way to alert me that you've completed the requirements of this digital badge. And then I will forward that information to the Office of IPE, who will then go through the process of awarding you the actual digital badge, which you can then put on your electronic portfolios or wherever else you keep these. So I think this is a great opportunity for pharmacy students. This is the first time that we are able to capture these activities as a part of this digital badge, and so your class will be the first class able to achieve this digital badge 3. And for those of you that have already completed the requirements for the first 2 digital badges, if you do achieve the requirements for digital badge 3, then you will have completed the entire micro-credential program, and a specific notation will then appear on your transcript when you graduate that you have completed this particular micro-credential program. If you do have any questions about this, please feel free to email me. My email address is nmfusco@buffalo.edu, as many of you know. I'd be happy to answer those, but I do encourage you to pursue this. Like I said, many of the activities are things that you likely will have already completed or will complete as a part of your required APPE rotations. And so certainly take the extra step to document them so that you do get credit for it as part of the micro-credential program.